Hello, King Mofo here. This is recommended settings for Master Merchant. So you're going to go to Settings, Add-ons, and Master Merchant. So your sales alert and options, that's totally personal preference, whatever you want to show up on screen. I have offline sales report on because I get the mail anyway. I don't need a summary in my chat. It's totally up to you guys. Most important thing here is your calculation and tip options. Big things are your focus 1 days and your default days range. Now, when you first load up the add-on, I think this is set to 10 days, and then this is set to all. Basically what this does is if you're looking at your tooltips or your inventory to see data, you can hold shift to focus on the first focus 1 days, or you can hold control to see the cells on your focus 2 days. Well, that's extra work. So what I want to do by default is I only want to see 21 days of cells in my tooltips. The game economy changes too frequently to focus on anything really outside of a month. So what I do is set this to 21 days. Default days range is focus 1. Now, when you do your tooltips and when you do your stats chat, it'll only look at 21 days. If there's no data, then it means that there were no cells in your guilds outside of those 21 days. If you want to go a little bit farther out, that's fine. Just be aware that anything more than a few more weeks from this, the data might be skewed. When big things like Homestead come out, the prices were jacked up. There's the on-screen display, just if you were wondering what that looked like. But when Homestead comes out, prices were sky high, and now they're going to fall off, and setting a shorter focus days will get that out faster. So down here, if you have I have Silverlight Brotherhood as an example, but if you have a guild that's a non-trading guild, doesn't really sell a whole lot, or their prices are just goofy all over the place, you can put them on your blacklist, and your tooltip won't calculate that guild or those players in your overall average. Open with stored mail, those are totally preferential. Scan frequency, this is big. I play right now, my desktop is dead, so I'm playing on a laptop. I only have it scan every 300 seconds because who needs new data every 30 seconds? Show pricing information in your tooltips, you want that on so that you see it anytime you look at items. Your level quality selectors, I recommend turning this on. Ignore outlier prices, you definitely want that on. Somebody sells a couple things lowball, it won't count those in your overall average, so you have consistent prices. High decimal places, that's totally up to you. Replace inventory values. I really like this setting. Instead of showing the in-game gold values, it'll show the value. That way, if you pick up like a Spriggan's Jack that's worth maybe 1400, instead of showing it's worth like 12 in-game gold, it'll show that 1400 price in your inventory. Delay initialization, that just lets the game load before loads. But if you have a really nice computer, you can turn that off. Display info on guild roster. That's really helpful for tracking your quotas and seeing where you stack with the rest of the guild. I'll show that as well. Auto advance to the next page. I'll show you that in just a second as well. Count wide, just so it works on all of your characters. Alright, so in your inventory, these gold prices, that's your replaced value. So these braised rabbits, 92, they're worth 29 apiece, for a total of 26.87. If it's a white price, that's the in-game gold value, and has no data for it. You just scroll through here, you can see a few things. That way you catch stuff at a good price. Like this smuggler's ring, I'd probably normally just vend it, but looks like you can get an average of 651. So now the quality selectors, we'll go up to something that can do that. Actually, let's do this shield. Pop up item data. So this shield, last 7 days, got 158. Well, what if I upgraded it to blue? Well, I'd only get 10 more, so it's not worth it. And then purple, a little bit more. And then gold, no data. So if it's a pretty popular item, you can usually see purple, blue, and gold values. But it's a good way to see, you know, do I want to spend an extra 2,400 to go, you know, take this sword up to purple and get 10,000 more out of it. Alright, now for the guild store, I use Awesome Guild Store and MM together. So open this guy up. Now I like to buy low and sell high sometimes, so I'll set my deal range here and then set to all. Start search. There's nothing on that page, so it'll auto advance to the next page. Now these are 37.91% under the MM sales price, so that's a pretty good deal. I don't generally sell food, but if you're looking for it, there it is. Now we'll go to the next page. Nothing there. Okay. The way that this works, why you have to page over, it doesn't consolidate items. It blanks out what on that page doesn't fit your local filters. So there's still items there, they just are not showing. See? So now we'll look at changing that day range back to default. Scroll up. Setting this to all makes your focus 1 days irrelevant for the tooltip.
Honest merchant.
Search. Select the deal range. Start search. Alright. Alright, so like this helm right here. It's 52.67% under the MM value. It looks like a great deal. You can make twice the gold on it. However, if you look down at the pop-up data, it only has 6 sales in the last 64 days. So that's where putting a cutoff really helps. If you're looking to buy items that turn really fast, then you're not going to want something that's only selling 6 in the last 2 months. If you're looking for a specific gear at a good price, then that would be something you would want to do. But generally for specific gear, you don't really set the deal range. You just do a text search. So helm, right? And it brings up all the helms. That will consolidate that page. So we'll go back, put our settings, add-ons, master merchant, and only focus on those first 21 days in our default tooltip. Forgot to show the guild roster in the video, so I grabbed a screenshot for you. You can see the sales column. That's what our guild bases the sales quota off of. Taxes from those sales, and the item count is the number of items sold. Make sure there's a setting down at the bottom of the roster. It's a drop down box. Make sure it's set to this week. That way you're not looking at the wrong data. That's it. If you have any questions, leave a comment or hit us up in the chat.